Every morning is an invisible door, a transition point between who you were yesterday and who you can become today. When your eyes first open, before your mind begins its familiar chatter, you stand in a space of pure potential. It's the only time of day when your brain is most impressionable, most open to suggestion, most aligned with the deeper intelligence that creates reality itself. Yet most people waste this sacred window. They grab their phone. They scroll. They check what the world is doing before they check what their own soul is asking. In that instant, they surrender their direction to distraction. They begin their day reacting instead of creating, and that single unconscious choice sets the tone for everything that follows. Winning the morning is not about discipline alone. It's about awareness. It's about understanding that the moment you wake up, your brain is shifting from a slow, dreamy theta state to an alpha state of relaxed focus. That's the doorway between your conscious and subconscious mind. Whatever you think, feel, or imagine in that moment becomes a command to your nervous system, a signal that says, "This is who I am today." If your first thoughts are about stress, fear, or regret, your body immediately begins to recreate the chemistry of yesterday. You literally relive the past before your feet even touch the ground. But when you become aware, truly aware, you realize you have the power to install a new pattern. Imagine this. You wake up, and instead of reaching for the outside world, you take a breath and notice the stillness. You feel your heartbeat. You bring your mind to gratitude, not as a forced act, but as a signal to your body that life is happening for you, not to you. You consciously decide that before the day begins, you will direct your energy instead of letting it scatter. That decision alone shifts your frequency. It's like tuning an instrument. Your thoughts align, your emotions synchronize, and your day starts resonating with intention. Most people underestimate how powerful that first 5 minutes can be. In neuroscience, we know that the brain fires and wires according to repetition and emotion. The thoughts you repeat each morning are not harmless. They are the blueprint of your identity. If you wake up thinking, "I'm tired," your brain finds evidence to prove it. If you wake up saying, "I can't handle this day," your body produces the chemicals of defeat before the challenges even arrive. But if you pause, breathe deeply, and think, "I am ready, I am calm, I am the creator of my experience," you shift the entire neurochemical landscape of your being. You move from survival to creation. You activate the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision, focus, and vision, and silence the primitive brain that only knows fear and repetition. When you start your morning consciously, you begin to shape time differently. You stop living in reaction to yesterday's emotions. You stop chasing the future with anxiety. Instead, you step into the now, the only place where real power exists. This is not about fake positivity. It's about neurochemical truth. Your morning thoughts sculpt your perception. The lens through which you see the world determines how you respond to it, and that response builds the quality of your entire day. The moment you wake up, you can either replay your old story or begin writing a new one. You can either think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and perform the same routines. Or you can interrupt the pattern and signal to your mind that something greater is possible. This is how transformation begins, not in dramatic moments, but in quiet choices. The choice to rise with purpose. The choice to breathe before reacting. The choice to connect with something deeper than your phone, deeper than your habits, deeper than your doubts. Your morning is your mirror. It reflects what you believe about yourself. If you wake up waiting for the world to tell you who to be, you will always live in reaction. But if you wake up and decide to direct your thoughts, to align your emotions, to remember the power that breathes through you, the day bends in your favor. Energy moves toward coherence. Thoughts magnetize opportunities. Clarity replaces confusion. Focus replaces noise. Winning the morning is about remembering that you are not your circumstances. You are the consciousness creating them. You are not the noise in your head. You are the awareness listening to it. You are not bound by yesterday's emotions unless you choose to carry them forward. Every sunrise is an invitation to become conscious of the invisible patterns that have ruled you and to replace them with new ones that serve you. When you wake up with intention, When you open your eyes and breathe with purpose, you signal to your brain and body that today will not be a repeat of yesterday. You claim the authority to design your experience from within. That is the essence of a conscious beginning, to rise not as a memory of your past, but as a vision of your future. To see your morning not as a routine, but as a ritual of creation. To treat those first moments not as background noise, but as the foundation of your entire day. Because what you tune into becomes what you live through. What you feel deeply in those early moments becomes the frequency that shapes your reality. Your morning is not small. It is sacred. It is the birthplace of everything that follows. Your mornings don't define you. Your programming does. Most people wake up and live the same day over and over again, not because they choose to, but because their subconscious mind is running the same emotional software that was installed years ago. The brain loves familiarity. It thrives on repetition. So, every morning when you open your eyes, before you even think consciously, your body is already feeling how it expects to feel: tired, stressed, distracted, uncertain. You think you're making new choices, but you're just repeating emotional memories. You're not waking up fresh. You're waking up conditioned. The same thoughts create the same emotions. Those emotions drive the same actions. And those actions recreate the same outcomes. The cycle continues until you interrupt it. Reprogramming your mind for victory begins with awareness of this loop. The mind is a record of the past. Every thought you have carries a memory, and every memory has an emotional charge. When you wake up and instantly recall everything that's wrong, everything you have to do, or everything you regret, you are firing the neural circuits of your past self. Your brain and body don't know the difference between a memory and a present experience. They both trigger the same chemistry. That's why so many people start their day already exhausted before the day even begins. They're living emotionally in yesterday. But if you can become aware of that automatic process, if you can catch yourself before you sink into the old emotional groove, you have the power to redirect the entire trajectory of your day. Victory begins when you stop letting old programming dictate your state. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to logic. It responds to emotion and repetition. So, to reprogram it, you must combine feeling with focus. That means when you wake up, you visualize not what is, but what you want to become. You speak words that carry energy, not empty affirmations, but intentional commands that align your mind and body toward a new reality. When you say, "I am focused," and truly feel it, your neurons fire in a new pattern. When you say, "I am disciplined," and act on it, your body begins to memorize that emotion as the new normal. Each repetition strengthens the connection, and over time, that pattern becomes automatic. You can't just think your way to victory. You have to embody it. You must feel the emotion of success before the evidence appears. Most people wait for results to feel empowered. They wait for success to feel confident, for love to feel worthy, for change to feel possible. But that's not how the mind works. The subconscious accepts what is emotionally rehearsed as reality. So when you wake up and choose to feel powerful, to feel focused, to feel grateful before any external proof, you're teaching your body to live in the future instead of the past. You are rehearsing victory until it becomes natural. Reprogramming requires consistency. The same way your old self was built by repetition, your new self must be built the same way through practice. Each morning becomes a training ground for your mind. You are no longer reacting to yesterday's story. You are rewriting it. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone, every time you breathe instead of rushing, every time you choose gratitude over complaint, you are strengthening new neural pathways. The brain literally changes its structure through experience. This process is called neuroplasticity, the ability of your brain to rewire itself based on what you repeatedly think, feel, and do. So every morning, you're either reinforcing the old circuits of limitation or creating new ones of empowerment. When you start the day with awareness, you start interrupting the patterns of automatic thinking. You begin to question the narrative that says, "This is just who I am." You start realizing that your identity is not fixed. It's programmable. You can choose what kind of energy to embody. You can choose to be calm when stress shows up, confident when doubt arises, resilient when fear knocks. You can choose your emotional state before life chooses it for you. That's what it means to live by design, not by default. Your mind has been wired by years of unconscious repetition, but it can be rewired through conscious intention. Every morning, you have the opportunity to condition your nervous system to expect success, to anticipate good things, to generate clarity instead of confusion. Everything in life is energy. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every action you take carries a specific vibration. When you wake up each morning, you're not just waking into a new day, you're stepping into an energetic field that reflects what you've been broadcasting. If your mind begins the morning replaying worries, doubts, or regrets, your energy sinks into the same frequency that attracts more of the same. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to the energy you consistently emit. That's why aligning your energy, emotion, and intention in the morning is the most powerful thing you can do to shape your day. You are a generator of energy, not just a receiver of it. When you wake up, your emotional state becomes the signal you send into the field of possibility. The way you feel is your frequency. If you start the morning frustrated, your day will mirror frustration back to you. If you start in gratitude, the day bends toward grace. It's not magic, it's physics and biology. Your emotional state releases chemicals that either open or close your capacity to think clearly, create solutions, and notice opportunities. Positive, elevated emotions like joy, appreciation, and love expand your energy field. They literally increase coherence in your heart and brain. Negative emotions like fear or resentment do the opposite. They contract your energy and narrow your focus to survival. When you align energy, motion, and intention, you move beyond survival into creation. The difference is profound. In survival, you're reacting to life. In creation, you're designing it. In survival, your energy is scattered and defensive. In creation, it's unified and powerful. Every morning gives you the choice. Will you operate from the energy of reaction or from the energy of intention? Intention is not just a thought. It's a deliberate frequency you choose to embody. It's when your mind sets a direction and your emotions fuel it. For example, if your intention is clarity, then you must feel clarity, breathe clarity, and act in ways that reinforce clarity. If your intention is peace, you must become that peace in your body before the world gives you reasons to feel it. The moment your energy, emotion, and intention align, you send a coherent signal into the field, and coherent signals attract coherent experiences. Life begins to organize itself in response to your inner order. Many people try to change their lives through action alone, but action without aligned energy is just movement without power. You can't create a new reality with the same emotional frequency that built the old one. You can't attract abundance while broadcasting lack, or manifest love while resonating with fear. Your mornings are the most potent time to recalibrate that frequency because your brain and body are most open to suggestion. When you wake up, pause before doing anything. Feel your energy. Ask yourself, what emotion am I rehearsing right now? If it's tension, frustration, or worry, don't fight it, just notice it. Awareness is the first step to transformation. Then shift your state intentionally. Breathe deeply. Bring your attention to your heart. Visualize the energy in your body expanding, moving from chaos to order, from resistance to flow. As you do, your body begins to align with your mind. Emotion is energy in motion. When you combine emotion with intention, you ignite creation. If you simply think positive thoughts without feeling them, nothing changes because the body isn't convinced. But when your emotions match your thoughts, when you think, I am capable, and feel the strength of that truth in your body, you create coherence. That coherence is a magnetic signal that pulls matching experiences into your day. You're no longer chasing outcomes. You are aligning with them. Every great morning practice. Meditation, visualization, affirmations. Gratitude is ultimately about one thing: energy alignment. You're training your body to feel the future before it happens. You're anchoring yourself in emotions that reflect your highest potential, not your current limitations. The brain begins to record this new energy pattern as your default. You start to notice that life feels smoother. Opportunities appear without force, and challenges no longer drain you. That's not coincidence. That's resonance. The energy you emit interacts with every person and situation you encounter. Your emotional field influences how others respond to you. When your energy is calm and intentional, you bring order to chaos, clarity to confusion, peace to conflict. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer, setting the temperature instead of reacting to it. That's the power of aligned energy. It allows you to lead your day instead of being led by it. But intention alone isn't enough. You must nurture the emotion that gives it life. Intention is the compass. Emotion is the fuel. Without emotion, your intention lacks the frequency to manifest. Every time you consciously feel gratitude for what's coming, your body believes it's already happened. That belief changes your biology. It activates the same neural networks as if the event were real, and your subconscious begins working to make it so. This is how creators live. They don't wait for proof to believe. They believe until proof appears. Energy, emotion, and intention form a triad of power that governs every outcome you experience. If any one of them is misaligned, your day feels scattered. You might have good intentions, but low energy. You might feel positive, but have no clear direction. You might have strong focus, but emotions rooted in fear. True mastery comes when all three harmonize, when your thoughts, feelings, and actions flow from the same source of purpose. The morning is the perfect moment to cultivate that harmony. Before the noise of the world interferes, before old patterns take hold, you can consciously choose your frequency. You can decide, today I rise with energy that matches my vision. Today I carry emotions that align with my purpose. Today I set intentions that move me toward growth. When you begin your day in that state, the world responds differently. You don't have to push. You attract. You don't have to force outcomes. They unfold. The external becomes a reflection of your internal alignment. You begin to realize that the quality of your morning energy shapes the quality of your entire day. There's a version of you that already exists, the one who is confident, focused, disciplined, fulfilled, and at peace. That version isn't separate from you. It's a frequency that already lives within you, waiting for your alignment. The challenge is that most people live their lives waiting for external proof before they believe they've changed. They wait for success before feeling successful. Wait for love before feeling lovable. Wait for opportunity before feeling ready. But creation doesn't work that way. To embody the future you must feel it before you see it. You must become the emotional match of the life you want to live, right here, right now. Before any evidence appears in your physical world, every morning is a rehearsal, a chance to practice. Being the version of yourself you're becoming. If you wake up thinking the same thoughts and feeling the same emotions you did yesterday, you're continuing the same identity. You're reaffirming the same future. But if you wake up and choose to think and feel like the person who has already achieved what you desire, you begin to shift timelines. Your energy starts signaling to the universe, this is who I am now. You move from wanting to being, from chasing to attracting. That is the essence of embodiment, to no longer wait for change, but to live as if it's already real. The body doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. If you can emotionally experience your future with intensity and sincerity, your body will begin to believe it's happening now. That belief changes your biology. It alters your posture, your tone, your confidence, your decisions. The way you carry yourself shifts from uncertainty to assurance. You walk differently. You speak differently. You think differently. Your energy starts communicating something new long before the physical proof arrives. That's when reality begins to rearrange itself around your new identity. When you embody the future you're not pretending or faking it, you're rehearsing a new state of being. It's a conscious act of aligning your inner world with the outer world you wish to create. You're sending a consistent signal of coherence into the field of possibility. You stop identifying with lack and start identifying with abundance. You stop saying I hope and start saying I am. This isn't about arrogance or delusion. It's about energetic integrity. It's about becoming internally consistent with the future you're calling into existence. Think about it. Every time you wake up and immediately focus on your problems, you're embodying the energy of your past. You're aligning with the version of yourself who struggles, doubts, and fears. But when you wake up and take a deep breath, close your eyes, and visualize the person you're becoming, the one who's calm, powerful, grounded, and grateful, you begin to install that energy into your nervous system. You start firing and wiring new neural pathways that make that version of you familiar. What was once your future state becomes your current baseline. To truly embody the future you, emotion is key. The mind thinks in concepts, but the body learns through feeling. If you intellectually understand success, but emotionally live in fear, your body will always win, because it's the emotional brain that governs most of your behavior.